Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Squonk mod by Steam Crave. If you are in the market for a Squonk box, this might be the one and the time to buy one right now because this thing is on sale. I have here that this normally sells for $109.99, but right now you could get it for $59.99. And I went ahead and provided the link in the description box below, along with some other links that we'll be getting to. Now, what makes this particular box special? Well, as soon as I pulled it out of the box, which I'm going to do an unboxing and go through everything we get, is what hit me is the build quality. This thing is built like a tank. They really did it very well. The other thing is, this is another one with the magnetic door to get the battery in. This is the first one I've ever had where it doesn't move, it doesn't shake, and it's secured like a safe. I mean, they really did this right. Another thing that stands out is the button. I really like this fire button on here. This is temperature control. It only does nickel, doesn't do titanium. Also has your normal power mode. Other things, it's a Squonk box. I never even heard of a Squonk box. I don't know what a Squonk box was, so I had to look it up. And Squonk is a weird animal in Pennsylvania, some mythical animal or mythical animal in other places. I mean, there's all kinds of things. But when you finally get down to what it is in the vaping world, it's something that has a tank inside. And this one has a 10 milliliter bottle in here. And what that enables you to do is, normally, when you drip, you gotta take off your drip tip, unless you got a giant drip tip. Drip your couple of drops of juice, and then vape. Well, now your tank is inside, and what's really neat is you don't have to take the tank out and drip. You just squeeze this tank. I'm gonna go ahead and put the cover back on. Come on, and it bottom feeds juice up into your wicking material right through the bottom of a bottom feed type of RDA. So you just squirt, and then it sucks back everything that's not absorbed in the wicking material, and then you vape just like you dripped, except you don't have to mess around with a bottle, which is great. Like if you're driving and you just want to drip, you don't want to use a tank, this is your solution. And right now it's on sale for the crazy low price of $59.99 for something that's built like a tank. Other things before we dive deep here into everything is this goes up to 60 watts, because I know some of you will not consider at all right off the bat depending on what the wattage is. So yeah, this goes from 7 watts to 60 watts. So let's go ahead and take a close look. Here's the packaging. Steam Crave did send me this for review. Full disclosure there. Need to say it. Need to be honest here. Let's take a look at this. Here is the mod. The box mod. It comes with a charging cable, and it comes with an extra bottle. Again, these bottles are 10 milliliter, and you have some instructions down there. It's relatively simple, that even I could figure it out. Now, the way that you load the battery into here is you have a little nail nick right here, and you just pull that out, and you put the battery in. Now, positive goes down. So let's see. Now, make sure you use a 20 milliamp hour quality battery or better. Whoops. Try not to drop it. Positive goes down. Make sure you put this little pull tab there so you can get the battery out easy. Lay it down. And we'll pop that in there. By the way, I'm using a Pegasus Vapor Academy battery. Very good company for batteries. And here is the squonking juice tank. So we need to fill this up. So, what are we going to be vaping today? Johnson Creek Broadberry. This is a strawberry and topped cheesecake. Strawberry topped cheesecake. That's what we're going to be vaping. So very easy to use, to fill up. You just sort of grab your bottle and fill it up without spilling it all over the place like I am right now. Alright, all done filling that up. Again, Johnson Creek strawberry top cheesecake. Yummy. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, let's see what we have here. 510 contact down in there is spring loaded. As you can see right here, I'm going to let you take a look at the inside there, how that is moving. Right there. So you could actually take this all apart if you wanted to. There's a Allen wrench type of screw, Allen screw right there. You could take it out, slip this off, and then the 510 pin comes out. So if you have to replace the O-ring that's in there, which looks like that, you could go ahead and replace it, because around that pin there's an O-ring so the juice doesn't leak back in there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just put this in here like this. We'll put that down. And we'll go ahead and screw the bottle tight. Just like that, and set it in there. And everything is ready to be buttoned up. And look at that. No shake whatsoever. As a matter of fact, this whole mod would be rattle free with the exception of the button. The fire button does rattle just a little bit, but it's still, you know, some buttons rattle and they feel cheap. This doesn't feel cheap. Just wanted to put that out there. So we have the battery, we have this in here. Before you put anything in here, the battery and the juice, it only weighs 7.18 ounces once you go ahead and put your juice in there, and a normal battery, let's take a look at the weight here. I'm waiting for it to zero. Our weight is about 9 ounces. And then of course whatever tank you put on top, whatever dripping atomizer you put on there, it's going to be even more. Now to wake this up, you go ahead and tap it 5 times. Oh, I already had it awake, it remembered. And then you need to grab a bottom feed type of RDA. Now Steam Crave also sent me this Aromanizer, which is their RDAs. They have all different types, and it is specifically a bottom feed. And right now, another huge sale going on. These things are only costing $19.99, and let me tell you, Steam Crave knows how to make some quality stuff. I mean, the same quality from other places, other companies, this would easily be twice as much. You get your blue screwdriver, you get what this is an insert internally. Let me see if I can pull this apart before we actually, let me put this on here. I don't want to put it on here, damn it. Let me see if I can pull this out. I'm doing this so backwards. What I want to do is show you what's great about these aromanizers. Alright, see in there how you have these slits all around the edges there? You could remove that insert and put this one in here so it doesn't swirl the wind, because what this thing does is it pulls air in from these 3 slots, and they come down and start vortexing around. So by the time they get out the bottom here, the air has already started doing a cyclonic kind of motion, so when it gets down to your deck, it's already spinning, and that helps enhance flavor. But you could put this in here so the air just comes straight down, is what that is. What else do we get? You get a drip tip adapter, so you don't have to use the large big bore drip tip that came with it. So, and you get some O-rings, some extra screws, because you could choose between grub nuts and Phillips screws. So you have lots of options right there right now for $19.99. Crazy deal. Now let's take a look at what happens here if you squonk. I'm pressing the little juice squeezy thing here, and you see how its juice is coming up and then getting sucked back down. Now let's go ahead and put the build deck on here. Now I've already done something in nickel here. I did it a couple of days ago, so I don't remember everything as far as what I did, but I am going to go ahead and screw it. I only put one coil, even though it's a dual coil setup, and the reason why is I want to be able to show you where the juice comes up and out and sucks back, so you can sort of see that. Now if I fire this, it's probably going to ask me new coil up, so I'm pressing the up button. So what you want to do with nickel is, while it's cold, put it on there, let the device detect it. It auto detects when you have a nickel coil on here, by the way, for temperature control. And then you hit the button to let it know it's new. If you're putting an old one that it was already calibrated for, you would have hit the bottom button. So let's see here. Right now I'm at 40 watts, 570 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is a 0.61 ohm setup here. My battery's pretty much charged up. Let me let you take a close look at that. Gorgeous display, by the way. Alright, so what we're going to do is take a close look, and you see that hole right here, right there. There's a hole. That's where the juice comes up through that center post. So I'm going to go ahead and squeeze so we can sort of see juice coming up. I'm trying to get the light right. There we go. Up. You can see the juice flowing there. So see what's happening? I'm going to go ahead and you can see the juice sort of filling up, and then it sucks it back down. Fills it up, sucks it back down. So you have a perfectly wet wick. Ain't that cool? So you don't have to go through all the dripping stuff. It's exciting to me. So we'll go ahead and put this on here. Now with the Aromanizer RDA, you could adjust your airflow just by turning this top ring. Nice and smooth, very well machined. So I'm going to go ahead and do it about, I'm going to open this wide up. Wide up. By the way, drip tip. It doesn't splatter back up. You see how it's closed on the bottom? The air comes in through the sides. If you are vaping high power and it's like crackling and everything, it's not going to get that hot juice that's splattering up into your mouth. It'll block that. So it's pretty cool. Now, let's go ahead and wake this up. And let me see if I can do a little bit of the operation here. Since it auto-detect temperature control, you can immediately use these up-down buttons to do your temperature kind of stuff. And to lock it, if you hit this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 system off, it turns it to sleep so it doesn't inadvertently, fire. Wake it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Steam Crave, and there we go. And I'm going to tell it same coil down. This way it doesn't redo. I'm going to go ahead and go topside here. We'll take a vape and then we'll go over the rest of the operation of the device. So what we're getting here is something that's totally drip free, doesn't leak, or should I say it's totally leak free. You don't have to do physical dripping, and because it's temperature control, you have no burning of the wick. This is a pretty good device that could do all of that, and again, I can't stress enough how well built this device feels. So let's go ahead and take a vape. That's pretty impressive, and it's temperature control, and a vape is still coming out of my mouth, and it was only a single coil. And like all Steam Crave RDAs, including this bottom feed RDA, the flavor is out of the world because of that swirly, vortexy, crazy thing. Wow. She's hitting good. So that's temperature control done right. Let's see. There were some other specs I might not have covered. Yes, there are. So your voltage goes from 3.1 to 4.2 volts. Power output goes between 7 and 60 watts. Your resistance, this device could handle 0.1 to 4 ohms. And charging is 5 volt, 1000 milliamp hour. And for comparison, for size, here's a MVP3. Just want to give you a size comparison right there. Helps if I move my fingers. So it's a little bit shorter, a little bit wider. Weight, I don't know. I already told you what the weight is. And more importantly, it feels very comfortable in your hand. You can sort of hold it like this and fire with your finger, which does feel a little more comfortable because this rounded part against your palm does feel good. But then when you need to do your drippy thing, your squonk, that's such a weird word, squonk, squonk. Now you're ready to go again. No physical dripping. It's awesome. Okay, I do have a lot of notes here. Again, we'll go over the rest of the operation, but they did put out some information about a firmware update that they have done, because some people who have reviewed this and bought it said that the wattage didn't seem to be up where it's supposed to be, so they adjusted the firmware. And the reason why is because you get some loss. So they went ahead and accounted for loss, you know, between contacts and things like that. So what they're showing here is actually what you're getting. A lot of other companies don't do that, by the way. So the screen actually shows the actual wattage. Now also, you're going to get a lower wattage of what it actually is when your battery starts getting very low, by the way, or if you use a cheap battery. And again, I highly recommend for your safety that you use a good quality battery, and they recommend 20 amps or above. Let's see. And it says, by the way, all mods have a 10 to 12% voltage drop. So it was the voltage that is real, not fake here, not wattage. So they do put the correct what your voltage actually ends up here. Lots of protection, by the way. You have your reverse polarity protection, over temperature protection. You have, you know, open circuit protection. So you have all the protections. You have overtime protection. So if the button were to press, it'll cut out in about 10 seconds. I'm going to just turn this on. I want you to take a nice close look at the screen there. And again, you could change temperature back and forth, and it will automatically go into temperature control if you have nickel in here. Now I'm going to go ahead and force it into power mode or wattage mode, and what you do is you hit your fire button and the up button down at the same time for a couple of seconds, and now you're in power mode. So let's say even in temperature control, if I want to bump up the power, you do that, and now I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to, let's say, 50 watts, and then we'll go back into temperature by doing the same thing, the fire button then the up button, press and hold it. And now we're in temperature control at 50 watts. Let's go ahead, and there we go. I mean, it's really that simple. And again, you have your temperature, you have your power, you have your wake up, your atomizer, and your battery. And if I press and hold it, you can see the voltage adjusting, or your power adjusting to keep temperature correct. So it works very well. Let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm just going to pull this off so we can sort of look at what's going on here. Again, we'll do the squonk thing. You can see how it fills up. Then it sucks whatever juice that's not needed out. Now go ahead and press the button. And whoo, you can see her fire. Works very, very well. The finish on this thing is really nice. This is like a gunmetal. Very, very nice. I like that they didn't make it glossy, so you don't have to worry about fingerprints. By the way, it does have a micro USB down there in case you want to charge. And you can see temperature, going all the way up. It goes from 600, then it starts again at 200 if you keep on clicking up. And again, if you press and hold it, it's going to just race. Let me put this in power mode so we can sort of see how that sort of cycles through. Okay, we're in power, and it shows the voltage down there. So it goes to 60, and I can't speak. If you're pressing and holding it and it's racing, it stops at 60 watts. However, if you just click single clicks, it'll go ahead and progress or round robin back down to the bottom. So you can see how that works. So it goes from 7 watts again all the way up to 60 watts. I'm going to press and hold it. It should stop. And then I just click up once, and then it continues back from the bottom and then up again. So really, really cool. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in temp. Control right there. Actually, let me get the power back up there to, we'll do 42, because that's the answer to life, universe, and everything. Alright, there we go, and I'm going to get the temperature back up to about 550 degrees. Okay, one more vape before we wrap this up. Squonk! I just have to keep on saying that. It's such a weird word. That is a really good vape, and now it's easy, or even easier, to drip with this Squonk technology. I mean, Steam Crave is not the only one that does it, but I think they did it very, very well in a device that is just gorgeous. By the way, there's some venting holes on the bottom I forgot to point out. Look how nice this is beveled around here, no sharp edges. The only criticism that I can find out of this device, after having it for a couple of weeks, because I've had this for a couple of weeks, is that little bit of rattle on the button, which is really no issue whatsoever because it's still a very, very good button. And these edges right here are, or may be short for some people, so if you hold it like this and you want to squawk with this finger here, these edges, if you're someone who has a really tight grip, it could, if you're sensitive to things poking in your hand, that's kind of a little bit of a hot spot if you're holding it really tight. But if you hold it like a normal person, which should be 99% of you, right? Not a problem at all. But again, I like to hold it like this. It just makes it feel really, really good. And then when you got to squawk, you're just going to have to reposition or turn it around or whatever. Wow. That is a really good vape. I'll tell you, the Johnson Creek juices are out of this world. Alright, again, if you're interested in this, you can hit the link in the description box below. Also, right now they have a bargain, another bargain going on. You could get the bundle. You could bundle it. You could get the device and the mod and save another $10. So you could get this whole setup, just like you're seeing right here, for, this is a crazy price, for $69.98. That is crazy. That is crazy. I gotta check this again. I want to make sure, because, yeah, $69.98. This would normally cost about $150 normal price. So great deal. So you might have to, I got a lot of links down in the description box, so you might have to scroll down to get to the bundle price. It's crazy. Well, that's really it. So I highly, highly recommend this Squawk mod. Out of this world. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really do appreciate every friend, viewer, subscriber, and, of course, especially you. And I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye.